recording. So, hello everyone again. Today we're talking about reading, as you know. Let me share my presentation with you. Reading skills. That's actually good that we started discussing those in the chat, and let's agree that today we're talking about reading as a skill, as the way to get some information from the text, not a tool to practice pronunciation, not a tool to just voice over some grammar activity that you are doing to practice present perfect. No, just reading as a receptive skill, yes, to receive some information. And as usual, when we do some reading activities, we start with some kind of lead-in, some introductory activity. And, well, why don't we do the same? So here you can see a picture. Dear students, what is going on? What can you see in the picture? Who is not in the silent mode? Who is ready to talk to me? Please share. What is going on? Who is this girl? What is she doing?
Maybe she's protesting.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Somewhere in the street.
Uh-huh.
Has a poster in her hands, wants to be heard.
Yes, I painted over the text, not to give you any clues. So just from the picture, she's protesting. What could it be about?
Well, you didn't paint it very well.
Oh!
So I see some kind of sign like rights for women, men, equal rights, maybe.
Okay, good guess. Yeah, I painted over the words with the sign. I didn't. Okay.
Maybe she's some kind of fan, football fan. You know, they have this paint on their face. So maybe we can link it with maybe a sport game.
Maybe we have something in the chat too. Oh, and the chat disappeared again. Okay.
In the chat it says it's a feminist.
It's a feminist. How do you know that it's a feminist?
Probably because of that symbol.
Maybe.
Yeah, because of the sign, Alessia says in the chat box.
Okay, the sign helps us. Well, ladies, do you speak Portuguese? I hope not. Me neither. But let's look at some more information where this picture was from. And I have 4 questions for you. So, ladies, where's the text from? Where did I find it?
Online, BBC Capital.
Exactly. How do you know that?
That it is from online source. I see these icons shared on Facebook, on Twitter, sent by email.
Okay.
So probably it's a kind of electronic version of a newspaper.
Absolutely. Okay. And what could the text be about?
So we can only guess by some words that obviously about some difference in salaries between men and women.
Okay. And where is all this stuff going on?
Some island, or is it Iceland? Or Iceland?
You mean island, the country? Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was on some island, geographical some geographical place, but maybe it's something different.
Okay, so different salary, men and women, maybe some island, maybe the country that is called Iceland. Yes. Okay. A lot of good guesses, and actually they are all correct. Let's read some more. I am giving you a minute to read the text and answer the question. So let's look at the questions first. Do you guys understand all the words in your questions? Do you have any questions about the questions?
No, I don't think so.
Everything is clear, right? So then you have a minute to read the text and find the answers to the questions. Do you need to read aloud?
No. No.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, ladies. So let's see. Who is Pat Milligan? Any guess?
Ottimista.
He's an optimist. Or she.
Or maybe she. Yes. Anything else about her?
Some kind of global leader, consultant.
Okay, great. And Daphne Romney?
Daphne Romney. As I understood, she's a kind of representative from Britain who advocates equal rights, maybe.
Right. Okay, wonderful. So what about the pay gap? How big is it?
32%.
Brilliant. You do speak Portuguese.
Different.
Right. And when was equal pay law established in the UK?
Probably in 2006.
1970.
1970, yeah.
Okay, 1970 it is. Wonderful. Oh, fala portuguesa or something like this. That's what you should say from now on. Well done. You were awesome. What helped you? How could you answer the questions?
So we can recognize a lot of words because of one of the same origin. I mean, if you know one language, it's easier to understand another one. If of course, if the languages are of the same origin, I mean, if it belongs to the same branch.
Okay. So there are some like interlingual relations. Okay, that help you. Okay, perfect. What else?
The questions. They are asking for very specific information, either a number or a name, so we can quickly find it in the text and then study the surrounding, and it helps to find the answer.
So you know what to look for, and if you can see a name, what are you looking for, like visually?
Capital letters.
Okay. And when, or if it's about some difference, money, then you are looking for numbers.
Yes.
How do you ladies know all that? Who told you about capital letters, numbers, words that are the same in different languages?
Background
I don't remember.
Just life experience.
Life experience.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Can you students do all that?
Sure.
Can your complete beginner students do that?
Yes, they can if they're not afraid of trying.
Good point. Okay, because neither of us, or I should rather say none of us can speak Portuguese, but still, well, I managed to come up with some questions and you managed to answer them. I checked, by the way, I found the same article in English, so yeah, it's really so. All your answers are correct, yes, but you were able to cope with the tasks, with the questions, because you are proficient users of English, and all those reading mechanisms, they are natural for you. And a good point was that you are not afraid. I'm not that scary as a teacher, so you are not afraid to make a mistake. For our students, sometimes it's more difficult. because, well, they don't realize what to do. They're not able to explain what to look for, and they are just lost. And besides, their previous learning experience could be different from what we are trying to do with them here. But still, we should try and teach them how to read. So here I have 4 potential tasks for some activities. Can you tell me which of them are for teaching reading, which of them are for testing reading?
One and 3 are testing, and 2 and 4 are teaching.
Okay. What do you usually do? Which types of activities are more typical for your reading lessons?
I guess testing.
Reluctantly admitted Maria. Well, that's true. And it's not only you personally who's just keen on testing students. If you look at most course books, they're mostly about testing. And no one can be bothered to, teach the students really what to do with the reading. Because testing is easy. We have the text, we set the time limit, and then we just check how well they understood the text. And if they didn't, we suggest something like, you should read more, you should read regularly, you should read whatever is interesting for you. Let's read again. Yes, but what exactly can help them understand better? That is sometimes difficult for the teacher to understand, because for us it's natural. If you try to explain using some simple words how to tie your shoelaces, it's extremely difficult, because you learned when you were like 3-4 years old. Yes, it's a very natural skill for you. And that's why it's hard to explain. The same with reading, but, well, there's methodology. And luckily we can help our students. In the chat, we were discussing that some students have problems identifying the meaning of some words, especially if they look at the dictionary and the meaning is different, and they look at the text and they have some hard times believing that the word means what it really means. And we can help them there as well. We can teach them how to inference, how to make conclusions based on what they see. Because, having a dictionary is nice, but we don't have a dictionary at hand all the time. So why is it important to make those conclusions? Based on what we can see, based on logic, deduction?
We can't know everything.
Okay, that's a super valid reason. No user of language knows everything, every word, every structure, even the most proficient one, even some professor of English born and raised in London doesn't know all the words in the language. Any other reasons?
It will definitely help you in real life when you look at timetable.
Why?
Okay, because, for example, speaking about timetable of bus or train, definitely you can't understand all the details, but you can see, okay, this is time, this is probably my bus station, so I guess then blah blah blah. Maybe you don't even need these details.
Okay. Right, let me just, for the sake of saving time. So the first point was guessed correctly, that no one knows everything. And the second point is that any writer, and the same is true about speaking and listening, by the way, any writer, any speaker assumes that we know something. Imagine that you have to describe how to make a sandwich to some alien who doesn't have any digestive system, who doesn't need food, who has never seen a kitchen, who has never seen bread, knife, and so on. who has zero background knowledge about the subject. Yes, it would be a very, very long explanation. And if you describe how to make a sandwich to your, let's say, 6-year-old nephew, it's much shorter, right? Because you have some background knowledge, some common knowledge about the subject. You both need food, you both have a fridge, and so on. That's why in every text it is just taken for granted that we understand at least something. Yes, not everything is spelled out. So we need to use our brain, think, guess, and make conclusions. So what helps us to do that? First of all, some knowledge that is not even about the language. Like we were looking at this picture. What helped us guess that she is maybe a feminist, maybe just someone else protesting about something probably related to women? Our knowledge of the world in general, yes, that she has a serious face, she has this sign above her head, she has a symbol that represents women, and so on. So our knowledge about society, that she wants maybe to change something because we know that it could be one of the motivations for the protest, and so on. So our just life experience, as someone said, helps us. Again, as we mentioned that while dealing with listening, sometimes our students think that it's cheating if you use your life experience to understand the text. No, it's not. It's what you do in real life. So they shouldn't be afraid to use it in English as well. When we come to the text itself, we can also talk about top-down and bottom-up processing in the same way as we were dealing with while talking about the listening. It's really important to have our leading stage before we start reading, not just, okay, here is the text, yeah, let's start. Because your students can activate those background knowledge. And for example, that girl with the sign and her serious face, she gives us certain expectations, because if we guess that the text could be about some protests and something related to women, what do we expect from the text? Are you prepared to see a certain type of vocabulary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
What could it be?
Human rights, vocabulary.
Rights, equality,
protest, terms, yeah.
Something political, something socio-economic, and something like this. You do not expect to see, again, some food items or some fashion items and so on. You are prepared for some information. So she's protesting. Where? Why? Is it supported? How is the government reacted? And so on. If you can see that this is BBC Capital and some signs, you are prepared for some structure. You expect to see headings, you expect to see some photos, maybe some quotations of some people important for the story, right?
Right.
Right. Maybe you don't realize it when you first look at the text, but now that we discussed it, that's what we do. Right? But for us, it's a very basic skill. We've been studying and using English for many years. It's difficult for us to disintegrate the skill and to see what it is made of. But our students need that. They need to start building it. They need building blocks. Another thing is bottom-up processing. So you were trying to guess what this Daphne, who she was, what her job was. I decided not to take the Portuguese example. Let's look at the English. So let's imagine that we have, let's say, like an intermediate level student who doesn't know the word barrister. What could help? That there are some words that could probably hint what this word means. That she's talking about laws. Why do we quote her about laws? She must know something about laws. There are more words like court, tribunal. Maybe she is some kind of a lawyer. That's a valid guess. So here we use the information in the text, not the context, but what is called co-text, yes, what's around our word, to understand the meaning. So both of these things are quite important for us, and this is what we should teach our students. Before we start our lesson extract, I would like to stop sharing and see what is going on in the chat. Oh, now I can see the chat. So that's mostly about the task. Okay, then I'll continue sharing. Hopefully the chat doesn't disappear anymore. So let's welcome our student, Darina.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great, nice to have you here today. I'm not sure. Oh, oops. I started scrolling in the wrong place. Yeah, now I can see you. Well, so what we're going to do today with Darina is to try and improve her reading skills in the context of hotel descriptions. Well, Darina, do you like traveling?
Yeah, I like traveling, and I try to do it often, and maybe my salary, the most part of my salary is going on traveling. Really.
Oh, wonderful! That's a dream.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you usually stay when you travel?
Sometimes I choose hotels, but if I know this country, I try to find places where I can live with native people, really, Sami.
That's amazing. Okay, but if you choose a hotel, what do you want to see in a hotel? How do you choose?
Oh, I have a little son. He's 4 years old, so I need everything for him. Something like breakfast, good bed, and warm water. Well, something like base for me in this hotel rooms.
Okay. Anything else? Is the price important? The place where the hotel is?
The place depends on country, yes, because somewhere it's better to stay in the center, and somewhere it's better to stay in maybe near some shops here, near some near sea, for example, here. So yes, and the price, yes, but not not the first. Really not the first for me.
Okay. You are one lucky traveler. Doesn't care about the prices. Right. What do you usually use to choose a hotel? What is your source of information?
Native people, really, communication with native people, or native charts where I can find flats or hotels, stations, and TripAdvisor.
Okay.
Maybe something like this. And when I want, when I choose the hotel here, really, I go on the site and then choose the room.
Okay. So let's see how we can do it, and let's see how we can help some other tourists. Now I will show you a different page, and we'll be looking for the following. How can I? Okay, so this is a hotel description here. And there are 6 tourists who are thinking of staying at this hotel. So let's read the description. I'll probably even share a link with you so you can scroll it. Come on, chat. This is not cooperating. No. I'll just, so that you can scroll it by yourself as it is convenient for you. So this is the link.
I try to open it. One moment, please.
Okay, so here we have 6 tourists and their wishes. So let's read the description and see if the tourists will like this hotel or not, if it's a good place for them or not.
Okay, I must read on voice or no?
You must read.
Okay, can I take?
If you scroll down, yes, you can see.
Yeah, I see this 6 points. Yes.
Yes, the next 2 pages are the description of your hotel. Okay, I am giving you, let's say, 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
Oops, I guess here I missed something.
Okay, I can answer.
Wonderful. Okay, so what about the first one?
I would like a hotel with a swimming pool. I don't find this information on the site, so I think that it's not for this tourist.
Okay, that's right.
Due to second point, yes, it's really close to the airport, near 12 miles, and you can rent a car and check in at night. Concerning video blogger, this hotel proposed Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi in all areas, so I think it will be comfortable for this tourist.
Right.
My wife and I enjoy active holidays here because this hotel recommended attractions by locals, and we can see these pictures, and they are all near the hotel.
Okay.
2 miles, 7 miles, 14 miles, and car rent also. I always travel with my doggy. No, because the prices animals are not allowed it, and I don't speak Spanish. This hotel makes points that we speak your language, and I saw that they write Spanish and English. Yes, language, Spanish and English.
Okay, excellent.
So it's really comfortable for these tourists.
Wonderful. So today we're lucky to have a more proficient student than I thought.
A little bit than Mike here.
Yes, but that's okay. How can I go back to my presentation? Okay, brilliant. So before we start discussing, just a couple of... Oh, my battery is running low. Oops. Just a second. I didn't plug it in. Oh, silly of me. Okay, it's not running low anymore. So here I have something yellow and something green. Which of them are headings and which of them are icons?
Headings, food and drink facilities, clothing, and icons, which is pointed green. Yeah,
like a picture. Yes, a picture.
Like a picture. Yes.
Okay, perfect. You know all the words. So let's discuss what we've just done. Was it easy for you? Was the task easy?
It was easy for me, but not due to my knowledge of English, but due to I use these sites and I use this information and know more, and I know how to use it.
Okay, that works. We can use our real life skills when we're learning English. That's great. Did you need to read and understand every word in the text to answer my questions?
No, I just tried to find keywords. In every question, something like icons for pool, for example, icons for Wi-Fi, and some rules where we can find can we take dog or no.
So you have already started the third question, yes? So
I saw
icons, pictures, something else?
It was good, or I forgot what's in English. placement of information and blocks, and you understand where you can find, and pictures when they show tourist attractions, and maybe some numbers. Understand what they want to say by this word here, or like airport, you saw this word, you read the distance and you understand near or not, something like this. Whole texting here.
Right. So if you want to find, for example, tourist attractions, what should you look for?
For pictures, maybe. Right? For pictures, and first of all, for pictures.
Yes, for pictures, or maybe if it's a different text, there could be maybe some words related to that, like places to see, where to go. Yes, something that prompts you.
Yes.
Okay, and if you need prices, distances, hours, the rating of this hotel, what do you look for? Icons, headings, or numbers?
I think for everything, because you understand in which block it can be, and you look for icon, for example, or for big heading, yes, like on the previous picture, and also if it's, for example, hours, numbers, something like this. Prices.
Yes, numbers, yes, price is a number, hours are usually in numbers, so yes, we look for numbers. Is it easy to see a number in the text among some letters?
Yes, it's really easy to see, and when you see the number, you try to find nearest words, the information concerning this number to understand about what number.
Okay, I actually suspected that I could have a bright student. Let's do a bit more. So here I'll show you some reviews, what some people said about this hotel. First of all, let's look through them quickly and think if they are positive or negative.
Okay, it's
the same, yes, but you just scroll down.
Excuse, I will find this document. And here. 1 moment, please. Okay. I think that the first review more positive, more negative than positive, really, because they have 2 reasons for negative and 1 reason for positive. And the second review is whole positive. And I think that it's due to tourists' ожидания.
Expectations.
Yeah, due to tourist expectations.
The hotel met their expectations. Wonderful. And the third one?
Oh, the third one.
Yeah,
oh, I didn't see. 1 moment, please.
Okay.
I think that it's positive because this minus is too small to make the whole conclusion about hotel.
Right. And the rating is high, so maybe they didn't really need the internet. Okay, wonderful. Now let's look at the first and the second review again, and let's think about the meaning of 2 words. So, Irina, now let's imagine that your level is a bit lower and you don't know the words, okay? Even if you do. So, in the first review, there's the word rush, and I have 4 options. What do you think it means?
Okay, color, type of food, go quickly, speak loudly.
And find it in the text. Let's guess from the text. What?
Made us stress and rush to pay on time for a closer parking option every morning. Rush to pay. I think that it's it's verb, yes. So it's and every morning for go the parking every morning, so it's maybe go quickly.
Okay, so what helped you to understand that it's a verb?
Because we have the infinitive after it, rush to pay, and the meaning is that go quickly because we saw the word time, yes, the option which is near this word, so maybe it's quickly to do something in time.
Okay, wonderful. Let's try chill out in the second review.
Okay, I think that everybody knows this word because chill out, it's also to relax here. And let's find this word. Important to chill. A nice park in front of the hotel to chill out with an espresso. So what we can do in park, we can walk, we can sit, we can eat something. So it's something to have a rest, relax, to chill out.
Okay, wonderful. So like typical activity in the park. Great. Oh, I have such a smart student today. Nice. So you didn't know the words, you didn't have a dictionary. What helped you? Let's sum it up. What helped you to guess?
All right. The whole meaning of the text, yes. I understand that it's review and it's concerning some options of this hotel. And the nearest words, and first of all, understand that, for example, it's verb, then which with what it concerns, and I can understand the whole meaning. So try to find a synonym.
Perfect. Okay, Darina, I want to travel too. I would like to go to the Niagara Falls. It's like the nearest nice place to me. Yes. So this is my situation. I would like to go there for the weekend with my husband and my kids. We would like to drive there, and we would like to be able to walk to see what is there to see. Price is important for us, unfortunately. Yeah, we wouldn't like to pay more than 250. Would be nice to have breakfast included in this price, and my kids eat a lot. I would like to have a microwave in the room. It's just, more budget friendly for me. Here are 2 hotel descriptions. I'm trying to... Why doesn't it... okay. So this is one.
Okay.
And
I will open the first
and oh, come on, chat. Appear, please. It doesn't want to. And another one. So let's see which hotel is better for me.
Okay.
So remember what we've discussed, what we need to look.
To adults, to children, you want to work?
Right. You have the task. You can look at the task. First. I mean, that we are looking at the headed icons, numbers.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks. Okay, the first, and I will look the second. One moment. Try to open the second. Also, okay, here. One moment, please. Простите, пожалуйста, я занята. Okay, the second one. First one. Oh. Okay, I can make a choice. I think that would be better to choose the hotel number 2 because first of all, price. The first hotel and the second hotel, they include. Oh, I think that there can be something wrong because I don't think that 2 adults. Oh no, 2 adults, 2 children. The second also, yes, but the price of the first a little bit more than $250, and the price of the second is $220. So it will be better, really. And you want breakfasts, and the second hotel has this option. That's first of all, and I want to look in the first. On the first hotel, I didn't see information concerning breakfasts.
Okay, that's important.
Maybe I didn't find it, but I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing.
Every hotel has its own parking, and if you want to walk, the second hotel would be better because the distances are not so big, and they are less than 1 mile, so you can walk. And concerning microwave in the room, in the first hotel, no, they have only refrigerator, but concerning the second hotel, yes, have microwave and refrigerator.
Perfect. So, I should book the room then. Okay, which one do you like, by the way? Which could be better for you and your family?
I think the second hotel really will be more comfortable because we also like working, and my child, it's something like приключения, Господи.
Adventures,
really. It's a great adventure for him to work and not to drive in the car because it's something usual for him. So it would be better. And microwave, because my child is diabetic, so his eating and his food must be special. It's also very important for us.
Right, yeah, that's very important. Okay, great. So a couple of questions. I think we can skip the first one because you know what helps you. You can do it very well. Right, but in fact, you can use all those Booking.com, TripAdvisor, and other sites in Russian. There's an icon, you can switch the language.
Oh, it's for me. I don't like to use these sites in Russian by one reason, because it sounds for me like translation in AliExpress sometimes, and so I like to understand information of what they really want to say and not what they translate for me.
Okay.
I think it's more comfortable.
Yeah, fair enough. And where else can we need those reading strategies? What else can we read using all this knowledge that we've just practiced?
I think that we read we can read newspapers. We can choose and surf some information on websites. I think that we can watch films also with
subtitles. Yes,
subtitles, with subtitles, because you can find words which you know and context of the film or of the picture, and I think it will be also very helpful.
Okay, right, especially when you don't have any dictionary, when you just have some leaflet.
And it's very helpful when you come to another country and you saw some information in English, maybe some указатели here.
Signs,
maybe some signs here, and you must read and understand where you must go, how you can take this place, or something like this.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Darina.
I try to be helpful, yeah?
Yeah, you were an amazing student. Thank you. All right, ladies, now it's your turn. So, have I achieved my aim?
What was your aim?
My aim was to improve my students' reading skills. Where is my aim? Up. Here. Improve her reading skills in the context of authentic hotel descriptions. I know I had too good of a student. Her reading skills didn't really need improving, at least for this level. But I was waiting for Mikhail.
I think this task was helpful anyway, because maybe she has found out something new for her, some new tips. Maybe, yeah, she was advanced. She is advanced enough to understand everything. But anyway, any discussion is useful, because we always find something new for us, something helpful, or so it helps to maybe to remember something, to use it in our everyday life.
Right. So at least I have raised my students' awareness of what exactly we do when we process different types of information. Maybe she's proficient with hotel websites because she's such an avid traveler. Maybe she could be more at a loss if it was something not familiar, right? Okay. So what went well?
Everything went well.
It's a matter of luck, you know, if they give students.
Not all the students are like her.
Right. Okay, the student was good, but maybe there was some other reason why it went well. Did I do anything right? By any chance? What?
So you've constructed the whole task very, very smartly, I think, and so you started with some. So I have forgotten what you started with, actually.
Now let's see what I started with. I started with just showing her this picture and asking her how she chooses to stay.
There were some warming up questions, some questions at the start, for the beginning, and so you just introduced. So the main idea of this text or context or something for her, and so the warming up stage was very nice.
Okay. Anything else that you managed to do okay? Ladies, join in.
I like that you tried to make it personal when you said the story about your family, and after that you asked, what about you? How will it match with your needs, expectations? I like this moment.
Right. Was there something that didn't go well?
Maybe just the level, maybe the student needed something more advanced.
Right, well.
In terms of language.
I only found out it today. So it was kind of, too late to change it an hour before the seminar.
Sure.
Okay, right. When did she use top-down processing? With which task?
Olga, can you show us the tasks, please, once again?
Sure. So she was trying to find out if these tourists would like this hotel, if you can stay there with the dog, and if they speak English, and so on.
This is probably the top-down, because she based it on her background experience.
What about the words? What was she using? Top down or bottom up?
Bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to guess from the context.
Right. Well, that's actually a co-text, to be exact.
Co-text.
Yeah, just click on what I want. Yeah, so the words around.
Right.
Yeah, she was already advanced in this area, Alisa says. Well, that's that's just a matter of luck, I guess. I was lucky this time. Okay, so I stopped sharing, huh? Well, what other activities aimed at developing top-down and bottom-up processing can you think of? What else could be done? We can just take the same topic, the same text. What else could possibly develop different strategies?
What comes to my mind is this exam task, like find the synonym to this word and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Very often students are lost in this task. So I remember my student was trying to find the synonym to building, which was premises, which there was no chance he knew at the pre-intermediate level. Actually, this is a bit of a problem for me to explain how to do this.
Okay, so would it be top-down or bottom-up?
Bottom-up, I guess.
Yes, we're looking at words. If we're looking at words, it's bottom level. Okay, great. Anything else? Okay, maybe with different texts. Think what you were using yesterday with your students. What are you? You are not maybe planning to do much today. This evening for you. What you were doing today earlier? Maybe if you have some evening lessons, what are you going to do with your students in terms of reading today? What can you add, or what could you have added to those texts and activities? To really teach them how to work with the text, to really give them some strategies.
Maybe creating the word cloud, like what words are important to discuss this topic.
Okay, anything else? Right, it's maybe too time consuming to think about activities just off the top of your head. Think about it. Feel free to share in the Skype chat. And why did we talk so much about strategies? Like, what do you look at? What do you need to focus on if you need some price or distance? Why did we do that?
Because we teach.
Why do we need to teach that? I didn't tell you to look at the numbers and try to guess something that you know from other languages when you were doing that Portuguese article. Any ideas?
A kind of life skill that you will need in any situation if you know how to deal with it.
Right, but they should be aware of that. Yes, maybe I should have reformulated my lesson aim to raise awareness of the strategies that you can use to develop your reading skills. So they are not always able, they can do it all in Russian, I'm sure, or at least those who deal with texts more or less regularly. But sometimes they just don't realize that they can transfer those skills. Again, it comes from their school experience, read and translate, and read aloud and translate aloud. They're not used to thinking about the text like some words that they don't know and they can guess, or some life experience that can help them find the information. Why didn't we talk about strategies before we started reading?
Maybe we already knew the strategies.
Who? Who knew? I mean, me and my student. Why didn't I start this conversation that we should look at the headings and at the icons to find the information quickly? You don't need to read every word.
She said she has experience in traveling. She used the websites.
Right, but we don't always know all our students' life experience. Maybe there's a text about something that we have no idea if they dealt with that in their real life or not, and we just start reading. So why did I choose this format? First read, then talk about strategies, and then read again.
It's test, teach, test.
Yes.
Is it a good idea to do it with reading?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's generally a good idea.
It's generally a good idea, that's true. And the student... Sorry?
I just wanted to say that if the student were weaker and she were like elementary, she would see how her reading skills improved after you taught her the strategies.
Right. It really helps your students see some progress immediately. That's why it's a very profitable, so to say, strategy for us. Students want to see their progress. Yes, if you, I don't say that every lesson should be test, teach, test. Yes, but if you do it every now and again, they see like, oh, I've learned something today. See, now I can do it better than an hour ago. They want to come again to your lessons. And we have such a big dictionary on the platform. Why should we teach inferencing when they can just click on the word and there you go?
In real life, dictionary might not be available. Even on the platform, sometimes it's stuck, doesn't work.
That is true. Okay. So there are unfortunately more situations when we don't have a dictionary attached to everything. If we're not talking about dealing with the information online, when of course you can check everything. But if you deal with something, paper-based, well, sometimes it's just not comfortable to use a dictionary all the time. And still this ability to infer, to deduce some information, it's just good for life. Okay, so today we were extremely efficient and we managed to finish on time. If you're still here, if you're not running to your next classes, let's maybe discuss something else. If you have more questions, maybe you didn't have them at the beginning, but now they appeared. So feel free to ask me, maybe share something, share your experience.
I have a question about the exam situation. So in TOEFL, in IELTS, the big problem, the time limit is a big problem. So what would be the efficient strategies in this case? So they just don't have enough time to read the text to answer all the questions.
From my experience, it's quite, it depends on the student. I always try different things. And in the end, they come up with different strategies for not just strategies how to understand the information, but how to go about this reading in general. Some people start looking for the answers to the questions right away without looking at the text in general. Some people are not able to do that. They need to first skim the text, spend like 2 minutes, and then it's easier for them to find the answers. You should just try different things. It can work with your students. Again, if you need to scan the text, in some books they even show you that you can do it, for example, like shk, 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 or you can do it shk, 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 or tuk, 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 from the bottom to the top. again, try different things, different eye movements, what will work for your particular students. Some people have, what would be the English term? I forgot, like the scope of vision, how many words they can see at a time. Some people can see more, some people can see less. If you were ever interested about how to teach reading, like, I mean, to little children, how to teach literacy, maybe not even in English, in Russian or your other first language, you might find some information. There are some exercises how to increase the scope. It can help in reading in English as well, because if you have to go through the text quickly, but you are physically able to see only 2 words at a time, you will need more time. Yes.
Okay,
increase the scope, yeah, but it's kind of a long topic. So just here, if they struggle with the time limit, I would try to experiment with what exactly they do when they read. Maybe they need to do something differently, and they can try different things. If we are sure that they know that it's not like focusing on every word when they look for the answers, like what does this word mean? Is it true, false, or not given? Yes, if they know how to do that, we should just find out where they waste time and eliminate it.
Okay, thank you. I'll try.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your question. Anything else?
I've got another question. So, what's your take on our practice of like integrating listening and reading? So, most of our texts are accompanied by the recording. Sometimes it's automatically created.
Oh my! I'm recording this session. Okay, I will be honest. When I was working using the platform, I never used that recording. I don't see why and how it could help develop reading skills. You can recommend the student to use it as some additional practice, as a homework, to form those, 3D models of words in their head. But again, if we think about scanning, how is it possible to look through the text in 15 seconds if someone is reading the text slowly? It's distracting. How can you skim the text when you go jump, 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 meaningful words, and someone is reading the same text slowly? It's distracting. Even if you're looking for some specific information, sometimes you need to stop and think. You need to reread a sentence, but someone continues reading, and it's annoying. I don't know. Well, it sells well because it's interactive, it's voiced over. Yes, it's maybe a marketing feature, but from the point of view of methods of teaching, it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. And do you think we should ask them to read out loud or to read silently?
Again, we actually discussed it a lot when we had our Tips on Reading webinars long ago. What do we read aloud in real life? Nothing. Maybe fairy tales for our children because they're not able to read by themselves. How can you read aloud and with the same pair of eyes scan the text and find something? It's impossible. Physiologically impossible. The same with skimming. How can you read aloud and focus only on the most important information, or read only the first and the last sentence, and at the same time read the whole sentence, the whole paragraph aloud? It's just impossible. Mm-hmm. So reading aloud is a tool for practicing pronunciation, doing some grammar activities to focus on form, to make sure that they don't lose the endiness and something else. Even if they insist on reading aloud, well, you know why it's not good for developing reading skills. They can read aloud for the sake of pronunciation. Okay, let's have fun with that. But if they want to know how to read better, it's counterproductive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. Yeah, but what I found out for myself, so that when at the lower levels they read out loud, it's somehow beneficial for them, for the students. So we can, mostly in terms of pronunciation. So I can see a lot of mistakes like hotel,
Okay,
something.
But, it's not relevant. Not relevant for getting information. Even if the student mispronounces half of the words, but okay, let's imagine that I had the real elementary student and I made him or her read the description aloud. We would still be struggling through the first hotel by now.
Yeah.
Well, because it takes time and it doesn't make you... so again, what did we start with? Reading as a skill, as a way to get the information from the text in your head. And we want to do it efficiently. Bye, Irina.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so people are leaving the platform. I guess we should too, because there are just 3
Sure.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Continue. If you still have some questions, feel free to write them in the chat. So thank you for your work, ladies. Thanks everyone who has already left. Hope it was of some assistance. Hope it was of some assistance.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.